For centuries, traditional Chinese apothecaries sold a highly sought-after medicine known as dragon bones. These supposed mythical remnants were ground into fine powders to treat everything from madness to malaria. Before the 1920s, the origins of the Chinese people were effectively a blank slate. Human evolution in Asia was a complete mystery, and the Shang dynasty, a civilization described in ancient texts, was widely dismissed by historians as pure myth. When scientists finally investigated the source of these dragon bones, they realized apothecaries weren't selling mythical creatures. They were pulverizing ancient fossils and artifacts. This realization triggered an archaeological boom. By the late 1920s, the hunt for these bones funneled researchers toward two very different locations: the limestone quarry of Dragon Bone Hill in Zhoukoudian and the ruins of the ancient city of Anyang. The pursuit of this single mythical medicine placed researchers at the intersection of two different timelines, providing the physical keys to the two biggest mysteries in Chinese history at the same time. At Zhoukoudian, the bones belong to Homo erectus pekinensis, known today as Peking Man. These early humans survived in the freezing, hostile steppes of the Middle Pleistocene, nearly 500,000 years ago. Their anatomy reveals a specialized biology. Their cranial bones were remarkably thick, and their skulls housed a brain capacity of around 1,000 cubic centimeters, placing them within the range of variation for modern humans. But the state of these remains sparked a gruesome debate. Because many of the skulls were found with broken-in bases, early 20th century researchers concluded Peking Man was a cannibalistic headhunter who used stone tools to extract the brains of his peers. Modern taphonomy tells a different story. Those fracture patterns match the jaw strength of Pachycrocuta, a species of giant prehistoric hyenas. Peking Man wasn't doing the hunting. They were being dragged into the caves as food. This evidence recontextualizes the discovery. These weren't savage apex predators, but vulnerable hominins fighting to survive near the bottom of a brutal food chain. Meanwhile, 300 miles away at the Anyang dig site, the dragon bones pulled from the earth weren't fossilized skulls. They were ox shoulder blades and turtle shells. These were the oracle bones of the Shang dynasty. Kings carved questions to their ancestors before applying intense heat. The resulting fractures carried messages from the spiritual world. Beside them, priests carved specific symbols, the earliest known iteration of the Chinese writing system. By recording these superstitious rituals to speak to the dead, the Shang provided the physical proof needed to transform their dynasty from a myth into a historical fact. The Shang maintained a brutal feudal hierarchy through their mastery of bronze metallurgy. They used these advanced alloys to create both the weapons for warfare and the ornate vessels for their rituals. When the Zhou dynasty overthrew the Shang, they moved writing from divination bones to luxury bronze. The script became a marker of status, with long inscriptions on vessels recording official appointments and ceremonies. By the time of the Qin dynasty, the script underwent a final evolution. To manage a massive, multilinguistic empire, the state standardized these characters into a rigid, uniform system for administrative control. In less than 1,000 years, writing evolved from a supernatural tool of divine kings into an administrative weapon of state bureaucracy. Together, the discoveries at Zhoukoudian and Anyang proved a deep, unbroken line of Chinese biological and cultural heritage. However, in the 20th century, these fossils were repurposed for ideological education. The focus shifted from evolutionary biology toward political theory. A new Maoist curriculum used Peking Man's primitive toolmaking to teach the Marxist concept that labor created humanity. These fragments serve as political architecture. Modern powers curate and weaponize ancient finds to construct and legitimize a specific national identity. Yet the physical evidence of this history is incredibly fragile. In 1941, during the chaos of World War II, the original Peking Man fossils were packed into wooden crates to be moved to safety. They never arrived. Somewhere in transit, the physical remains of an entire population simply vanished. To this day, the original footlockers have never been found. Whether it's a 500,000-year-old skull lost in a war or a 3,000-year-old question carved into a turtle shell, our understanding of history relies on the few fragile fragments that survive and the people dedicated to reading them.